National Security Analysis Center. The National Security Analysis Center is a relatively unknown branch of the U.S. Justice Department. It's grown since its creation in 2008 from a small unit to a 400-employee, $150 million a year organization that employs hundreds of private contractors. Initially conceived to pursue foreign terrorists, the agency currently has a massive data gathering system that collects data from the day-to-day activities of American citizens. The NSAC originated from the FBI's Foreign Terrorist Tracking Task Force, established 1 month after 9/11 to seek potential terrorist threats. However, with the rise in threats originating from within America during the last decade, the NSAC's focal point broadened by 2008. The agency now focused its attention on the American population. The NSAC works as a search engine that picks up data from several sources while performing pattern and link analysis cross-referencing. In the mid-2000s, the FBI located a suspected al-Qaeda operative hiding in Houston through the National Security Analysis Center. The agency also helped when the FBI received intel that a Pakistani hate group was operating as taxi drivers in Philadelphia. The Bureau was able to identify them by running massive background checks. Today, the NSAC has access to 130 databases and data sets. This information comprises over 2 billion records, half of which are not available to any other government branch. In fact, the NSAC is the only organization within the American government with the authority to thoroughly investigate the everyday activities of Americans and foreigners alike. From its headquarters in Arlington, Virginia, the NSAC can access the entirety of U.S. government databases. It also has access to plenty of commercial and law enforcement data, such as international travel records, bank and casino transactions, 500,000 names of potential terrorists, and nearly 200 million records transferred from private data brokers. The NSAC keeps files on millions of U.S. citizens. You'll be on that list if you've ever received a phone call from within a federal prison, changed your address with the Postal Service, rented a car, used a corporate credit card, or obtained legal identification from a private company. Both the American Civil Liberties Union and the Electronic Frontier Foundation have conducted private investigations and obtained documents that prove the existence of these data collection efforts. The investigations portray the National Security Analysis Center as a massive and overlooked government intelligence entity with a dubious invasion of privacy agenda that goes far beyond catching foreign terrorists. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court is a U.S. federal court confirmed under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. The FISA Court, as it's commonly known, was created as a government branch that oversees and manages requests for surveillance warrants against foreign spies inside the United States. During more than 4 decades, the court has only denied a handful of warrants, and its power has been compared to that of the Supreme Court. Intelligence agencies, such as the NSA and the FBI, rely on the FISA Court to obtain legal access to private data during investigations. From its inception over 40 years ago, there have been almost 40,000 requests for surveillance warrants, and only just over 11 have been denied. The FISA Court was initially composed of 7 U.S. Chief Justice-appointed district judges that served for 7 years. However, the 2001 amendments to the USA Patriot Act increased the number of judges to 11. Despite having this vast amount of power, all the FISA Court meetings are entirely secret, as are all current records. Only some redacted documents have been made public over the years. The court hearings can occur at any time during the day, even on holidays, and at least one judge has to be on call at all times to attend emergency hearings or look at evidence to decide whether or not to issue a warrant. The FISA Court's influence has expanded so much that it's sometimes thought of as parallel to the Supreme Court. The court operates through the tax contribution of American citizens, and it is expected to protect their civil rights, anonymity, and humanity as residents of the U.S. When whistleblower Edward Snowden leaked highly classified information from the NSA in 2013, it became public knowledge that the FISA Court provided the agency with access to their citizen email and call databases. This revelation left many citizens pondering whether the court really cares about the safety of Americans. Joint Improvised Threat Defeat Organization. The Joint Improvised Threat Defeat Organization, known as JIDO, was established in 2006 as part of the U.S. Department of Defense that dealt with sudden threats from improvised explosive devices and small unmanned aerial systems, both in the U.S. and abroad. It is known that JIDO has recently focused on the emerging global threat from drones. Still, reporters who have delved too deep into their operations have been sanctioned and returned to the US. According to the Department of State's website, JIDO's mission is to, quote, enable Department of Defense actions to counter improvised threats with technical responsiveness and anticipatory acquisition in support of combatant commanders' efforts to prepare for and adapt to battlefield surprise. As the global war on terrorism has steadily grown, JIDO has expanded from dealing with unexpected battlefield incidents to full-on counterterrorism and counterinsurgency. One of JIDO's primary efforts in Middle Eastern nations is to track materials and methods used for building explosive devices. The objective is to cut off the suppliers and locate the funding sources and perpetrators. JIDO then shares the information with combatant commanders and allied governments. JIDO also focuses on destroying the secured explosive devices. The organization employs robots to defuse and detonate them, instead of having individuals risking their lives. However, many of JIDO's Middle Eastern operations occur in secrecy. Many field reporters who have spoken about JIDO's bomb technology, such as remote detonation jammers, have been sent back to the United States. It is also believed that JIDO can interrupt GPS, eavesdrop on communications, and even hack into foreign drones all over the world. United States Special Operations Command. The United States Special Operations Command, or SOCOM, is a unified combatant command in charge of orchestrating all special operations involving the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Air Force. If an operation involves several military branches, SOCOM acts as the common operational link. But their power has grown with barely any accountability, and recent scandals have put their culture and ethics into question. The U.S. Special Operations Command was set up after the disastrous Operation Eagle Claw, a failed 1980 rescue mission in Iran, in which a helicopter crash took the lives of 8 servicemen before their planned arrival at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. SOCOM coordinates the distinct branches within the military. When different special operations forces are involved in an operation, SOCOM is the Joint Component Command. Since its activation in April of 1987, SOCOM has orchestrated many pivotal operations, from the invasion of Panama in 1989 to the war on terrorism launched after the 9/11 attacks. SOCOM is allowed to undertake actions such as combat, special recon, counterterrorism, foreign internal defense, unconventional warfare, civil affairs, counter-narcotics operations, and even psychological warfare. By 2019, there were special operations members in 141 countries, a 135% rise from the late 2000s, when America's commandos were operating in only 60 nations. This record global deployment happened as inquiries came to light on alleged malfeasance by some of America's most elite troops over possible ethical failings and criminal behavior among troops. In recent years, U.S. special operators have faced serious misconduct allegations, including war crimes, substance abuse, and a wide array of violent acts. In the missions they currently oversee, SOCOM has a lot of power and minimal accountability at home and abroad. In the wake of such high-profile scandals, General Richard Clark, commander of U.S. Special Operations Command, ordered a comprehensive culture and ethics review of the special operations community in 2019. As he wrote in a memo, quote, "Recent incidents have called our culture and ethics into question and threatened the trust placed in us. The American people must trust those who protect them." National Reconnaissance Office. The National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO, is an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense that operates the government's ever-increasing network of satellites and supplies reliable surveillance information. But alarming reports indicate that their satellite spy technology has evolved to the point of threatening the dimensions of individual privacy. The National Reconnaissance Office is considered one of the Big Five American intelligence agencies, along with the Central Intelligence Agency, the National Security Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. The first press reports about the NRO's existence surfaced in 1971, and the first official acknowledgement of the agency was in a Senate committee report from October 1973 that inadvertently exposed its existence. A 1985 New York Times article revealed that the primary functions of the NRO were to develop, build, launch, operate, and manage space reconnaissance systems and their intelligence-related activities for U.S. national security. It was also revealed that the NRO allows many other government offices to track individuals and have an eye in the sky all around the globe. In 1996, a bipartisan commission report described the NRO as the Big Five agency with the largest budget, stating that it had only grown over the years and illustrating their latest intelligence analysis device called Sentient as their most advanced and dangerous machine yet. The project is still being treated as a government secret and has only been vaguely referenced in a few speeches and presentations. But formerly classified documents released in 2020 revealed new details about the program's goals, progress, and reach. Under development since 2010, Sentient is an artificial intelligence spy satellite system capable of using data, both past and present, to anticipate future events, guide satellites, and advise the American military against potential threats. The Sentient AI would be capable of combining satellite imagery with numerous data sources, such as news broadcasts, environmental sensors, human conversations, and even social media interaction, to obtain real-time insights into the world below. It is said that the government will probably never acknowledge the program's existence unless something goes terribly wrong.